Welcome to the grand opening of Mastery Ring 1 in the Guardian Alliance. We are so excited to be launching these courses with you guys. And starting this Sunday, we are going to be opening up the Warrior course, the first of 6 courses in Mastery Ring 1. And today, we're here to hang out with you and talk with you about what's coming up in these courses. What can you expect from them? What's going into them? How are they being built? What are some of the practices and meditations? We're going to plant the seeds for you about what you can do to prepare for these courses and to get into a space inside that's going to enable you to get these upgrades as we give them and deepen how those upgrades integrate into your body so you can maintain that work and you can live it into your lives. Today I've got David Beaudry and Alex Fairman with me. Guys, you want to say hi, David?
What's up, guys? So great to be here. Much love and appreciation for everyone showing up today and have fun, dropping deep, and let's go for it.
Yeah, Alex.
What's up, everybody? I'm excited to be with you all and to be sharing some more information and revealing a little bit more about what we've been cooking here behind the scenes. So I'm glad to have all of you with us.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so we've got a few people just showing up on the live site page. We are live at the Guardian Alliance website under the Mastery Ring opening. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to guardian.is, click in to join the live sessions. It'll take you right to the page, and you can join the conversation with us there. We got Aaron from Asheville, North Carolina, Cliff Waterbury from Kingston, Ontario. We got Maxim from Albuquerque, Iwa, Pan, Xavier, Miranda. So as you show up and you come into the board, please say hi, tell us where you're from, say what's up and join us, because we're here to have a conversation together, to connect, and to really build this community. Because so much what this whole project is about creating a community of empowered leaders and teachers supporting each other. We're not just teachers and you're the students, you're teachers too. And we're going to try to help you to get to a point where you have enough anchoring, enough grounding, enough connection in the material that you're here to share with the world so that you can come forward and you can do that. Because, you know, each of us have this deep fire inside, this magical gift. It's like having an entire solar system inside of you, and it's just shining and it's just radiating from us. But, you know, sometimes we have a hard time letting the light out. We have a hard time stepping up or grounding our project or getting in our bodies enough to take the actions that are necessary, to create the alchemy enough or deal with the social situations it takes to launch our projects, or dealing with the fact that sometimes we can't see the whole picture. We don't see the whole strategy, the whole framework. Or we have problems in our relationships, you know, and we don't know how to heal them and bring them back into a state of balance. Or maybe we just don't know how to express what it is that we're here to do. Maybe we don't know how to communicate it, how to get it out there into the world, how to create a platform with it, to share it with everybody else that's out there. And so this journey through these courses, this journey of the Guardian Alliance, is about learning how to open to the dreams that are inside of you, the big visions, and bring them all the way down through your system and anchor them in your lives so that you can actually live and breathe the work that's needed to give your deepest gift in the world. So today we're going to share a little bit more about each of these facets of what these courses bring in terms of the ways that they can empower you and activate you in fulfilling your life purpose in the world. So, David, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Warrior course? I've been, you know, going through editing and doing production on the course, and I am so excited about the content that you've put in there. Can you give us, like, what's a few of your, like, favorite gems that you've got in the course?
Yeah, so it's been so much fun putting this content together and really feeling into the qualities of the new warrior, you know, of the peaceful warrior, of what we're here to do and be of service to, you know. So I know for me on my path, one of the biggest things has been really discerning the essential from the non-essential. You know? Before we can really begin to focus and put our discipline an energy towards something, we have to discover what it is that's essential to our lives. What is the spiritual quest about? What is our life about? What are our values? And there are many values or structures or systems, whether it's from education or religion or parents, environment, whatever the case may be, that we take on as our own that we don't even realize. So really, the first part about the principles is diving into what does this life mean to you? What are you here to share and honor? And so that way you can apply the discipline, the focused attention needed to fulfill that path. And that connects directly to our root. So one of the pieces that I'm really excited about is the understanding that all of the issues that you have going on in your life, there's a physical representation in the body that is a mirror of the external representation. So the first point of contact with the earth is our feet, is our root. Like, can you stand? Can you feel grounded in your body? Can you feel okay? Do you have a sense of compassion for yourself, for your journey? I think in the past, where especially in the Western society and culture, we've been on this very fire path of like no matter what time of day it is, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it done, I'm gonna use my power and my force to make things happen. And at times, um, not being aware of how our actions affect the environment around us. So for me, understanding and practicing how to get in and feel out. When I'm out of integrity, oh wow, I can feel it immediately in my body. So the biggest piece that I feel is coming through in this warrior is around body intelligence and specific practices to actually feel what it's like. And many of you, I'm sure, have experienced this. In your gut, you trust your gut instinct. Like yes, even though your mind's like, what in the world am I thinking? This is crazy. Why am I doing this? But you trust your gut because there's a higher intelligence. And now what's beautiful is all these ancient traditions that have um, discovered this real connection between the mind and the body. Now Western science is discovering, okay, there's 100 billion neurons in our belly that give even more information than our brain, you know, at times. So like it's just a complete understanding of how our body is a vehicle or an intelligent center. It's like an antenna, right? And we receive so much more information and give so much more energy and information than we ever realize.
Mm.
So I'm going to be bringing you through what I call mini practices that you can apply right now, right in your day, and you can see how it's affecting your body. Right? It's all about really attuning to the body-mind intelligence. And then we're also going to go through some really subtle breath practices and how to use the breath, which we'll experience a little bit later, to cleanse, to clear, to energize, and activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which allows our body to rest, digest, think, absorb, and really be authentic with where we're at. So there's like you can't trick yourself anymore. You're like, oh wow, this person is saying this thing. You're feeling something off in your belly or your heart or your body. You're like, oh, so you've got this compass that's totally connected to your mind, but you can't get fooled by the mind. You can't get fooled by rational thought. You're in your body, and you can feel the resonance of this person's voice. You can feel the resonance with whatever you're engaging in. So that's a couple pieces, and I'm really excited about the mindful strength portion where we're going to be diving into how to utilize the chi that we're going to be building and infuse this sense of softness and flow into building strength, into building joint integrity, into healing your hips and low back and helping to open up the root chakra and have a base foundation for everything else that you want to create in this world. So yeah, I'm super stoked.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, one of the parts that I'm excited about, you go through and you share aspects of some of the different wisdom pieces behind Tai Chi and Qigong. You drop into a lot of different principles of the body. And as a practitioner and a teacher of Tai Chi for a long time, I find that those principles, and the principles of the body intelligence that just comes from the kinesthetic action of just putting yourself into these positions, into these postures, and utilizing these principles, it changes the entire energy dynamic of your body. You feel totally different, whether you're in a grocery store or standing on the side of the street or driving in a car. If you apply these principles, it changes how your body's charge flows, and you find you suddenly have more energy and more information to use in your body. And so for the people joining us with us today, I'll just drop you into a few of these principles in your body so that just while we're having this live session, we can open up the body intelligence a little bit more, and use this warrior training to open up our sensitivity and awareness. So one of the first principles is you're going to just relax. You want to soften your shoulders, soften your arms. Let your body sit. Feel the pressure on your sit bones. If you're sitting down, if you're standing, just really feel the pressure on the bottom of your feet. Feel the way that gravity just pulls you in and holds you. And let the gravity just take you. Just give yourself to it. Shrug off your shoulders. Open up your neck. Just feel yourself relax. That's the first principle. The second principle that we're going to explore is just being suspended from above. Because when you're sitting, a lot of times we slump forward or we slump back, we get stuck one way or another. But being suspended from above when you're sitting and you're watching something just means imagining like there's a string connected to the top of your head, and it's just going straight up into the sky like you're hanging from a star, like an ornament. And you're just letting your whole body hang in this vertical suspension. So your spine is straight, you're feeling just everything open, relaxed, and hanging all the way down, connecting down into the earth. Now, a couple of the other principles are more involved with movement and standing. So, one of those principles, for example, is shifting the weight, which means, when you're standing in line at the grocery store, or if you're standing listening to this, or just walking around or doing movement while you're watching this, just try sinking all your weight into one leg at a time. And feel what it feels like just to hold your weight with one leg. And try lifting the other foot and just see the different kinds of positions you can be in while you're just holding your weight in that one leg. And then try just really slowly shifting all your weight into the other leg until you have nothing left in your previous leg. And just hold that. And just standing in different postures, and we'll show you some more of those postures during the courses, but we're just standing in those postures is going to open up your leg chi and your energy in your lower legs, and you'll find that literally just shifting back and forth really slowly will warm up your whole body, brings a bunch of chi up into your belly, enhances your digestion, provides all kinds of benefits, amazing benefits. And now another principle is actually belly button nose, which is turning from the waist. And what that means is that, whenever you turn, whenever you're trying to apply force to something, whenever you're trying to do something with your muscles or your strength or your energy, the strongest place in your body to move from is the core of your body, your dantian, your lower belly. I'll just stand up here and show you, like 2 inches below my belly button, I've got this energy center here, and this energy center is the lower dantian. We're going to talk about that more in the warrior course. But when you turn and you move and you act from that dantian, you drive force from that place, it's the center of your gravity. So it's the strongest place you've got. And even if you're doing martial arts with somebody twice your size, if they're using all arm strength and all body strength, and you are using strength from your core and you're turning from your waist, you're going to be able to throw them around even if they're twice your size, because that's where your strength really comes from. That's where it's sitting inside of you. And one of the last principles is beautiful hands. And that's just about opening up your hands and relaxing your hands, whether you're typing or whether you're just sitting. Relaxing your hands and opening the tendons in the front and the back of your hands allows the chi to flow through your hands so that you can actually create and work with fields of energy more easily. So that's a few bits of what you can expect from the Warrior program.
One thing I wanted to add real quick.
Go.
With the dancing, one of my teachers said, he said, whenever I'm in the kitchen, I'm practicing Qigong. I'm practicing Tai Chi. So he would always align his navel to the cutting board. And he would chop and he would stick and relax down when he chops. And I started trying this. I was like, wow, this is like effortless. You know? And then I would notice how I shift and move when I go to grab a pot or I go to open, the refrigerator or do dishes, and it totally changes everything. It's so much more fun to be in the kitchen. And I notice when I'm trying to rush, I'm kind of on my toes, kind of leaning over, like reaching over, and I'm not fully present with exactly what I'm doing. So, when you're in the kitchen tonight, like align your belly, align your heart, and really focus on what it is that you're engaging in. You're washing the dishes, making dinner, even with your loved one, like align to the center, and you'll notice a big difference, and you'll receive so much more, as well as be able to give so much more.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I got a big kitchen, so that's one of my favorite places to move. It's just like stepping around and flowing in the kitchen, and I find myself just, dancing in there, just like getting it down, like making my food, mix it up, spices on the, yeah. I just love it. I rock it in there. So yeah, after Warrior, on next Wednesday, we're going to be opening up the first Weaver course. And Alex Fairman has been, he's the primary author of the Weaver course, and he's been creating an amazing course, doing video out at the ocean. He's just got a gorgeous piece coming together. Alex, what would you like to share with us? What's some of your favorite parts in working on the Weaver course?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Adam. And I just want to say you guys are totally tapped in. I'm loving it right now. I'm enjoying this, feeling in my body with that warrior energy. And so Weaver grows right out of the warrior. And once you're centered in your body intelligence through what you're going to go through in your warrior training, we get into Weaver, which is where a bunch of fun happens, and we get to explore our emotional world, right? Which is paramount to so many other things. David, you touched upon the fact that in a Western society, we're driven so much by our external goals and having our fire and going out there and being productive. The 4-hour work week, the 4-minute work day, like go out, do it now. And the emotions underpin all of this. And Weaver is about emotional mastery. So just to give you guys a couple of the things that we're going to go through in the Weaver training, one of the first pieces is the inner emotional exploration we have to do as Weavers before we get to the social piece, which I'll get to in a minute. And the inner part is so important because one thing to understand is that our inner emotional world is complex, and there's not just one aspect to it. I like to think of it as a bunch of different compartments of your being, different aspects of it, and you have to look at what's going on in each area and see what are the emotions that are already sitting present in your body, and just look at those first honestly. A lot of times it's not going to be pretty when you look at what emotions we're actually holding and what beliefs we're holding around, let's say, intimate love and romantic connection. Or, for example, when we look at the emotions in our lives around our work or around even our relationship to certain important archetypal figures like our parents or the world that are actually affecting our whole life. And so the first thing in Weaver that we're really going to do is explore thoroughly our inner emotional world and bring up and look at each aspect of our lives and what's going on there. I'm going to be giving you some clearing techniques and some also reprogramming techniques using NLP and neurodesign that will help you construct the reality that you would like to feel and experience on an everyday basis and clear out what no longer serves. So we always got to build the house on a firm foundation first and foremost. Once we do that, then we get to really the social piece, which is where I love it. It's so much fun. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to be sharing with you there. And one thing I want to bring up right now, because I think this is a fun thing for us to talk about, is there are certain communities of weavers who are already out there in the world, and not all of them, let's say, are in the most alignment and integrity. For example, one group of weavers we can learn a thing or two from is the pickup community. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the pickup community, but it's basically was evolved, I don't know. It's been around, obviously, forever, as long as history has ever existed, but specifically in the last, 10 to 15 years, it's gotten very big. There was a book called The Game. It was written a while ago. It was imagine kind of the same scandalous nature. It's like 50 Shades of Grey for men, let's say. And this book gave rise to a whole community of pickup artists because it told the story of these guys who would go out and try and pick up women. And they realized that the real success was determined by something that was more subtle. It was more about something within them that they were doing, not how attractive they were, how much money they had. Right? The real social influence and power we have is not directly correlated to rolling up in a Ferrari or knowing everyone right away. It's actually about our energetic state when we go out and socialize. There's a certain vibration that if we can be at that vibration, people will be attracted to you, people will want to hang out with you and get to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So this, and as I said before, the pickup community is not wholly in alignment on all their other archetypes. There's for lack of a better term, a lot of maybe douchebag type of guys who just are using this to score on a physical level. But what we're going to extract from that is there's some wisdom they have about social mastery that we're going to hold in a bigger integral context about being a guardian, holding yourself with responsibility and unconditional love for all human beings, while also learning and understanding we are social animals. And if you understand the principles on which we're all operating, you're going to have much more success socially. So what I'm going to be doing in Weaver Course is sharing with you a few of the distilled philosophies and attitudes that are going to contribute to your success socially and building a strong network of people around you who you want to be around you, who are people that you like and that you have fun with. And we're also going to talk about attracting romantic partners and some basic principles behind that. So it's going to be, I'm really excited to take you on the journey. I've had so much fun actually creating this and making it because it's allowed me to distill so much of what I've learned from various places and my own life experiences and various things, and I'm just really excited to be sharing it and taking you all on this journey.
Mm-hmm. We're excited to be on the journey with you, Alex, and I'm just stoked and honored. Your writing is such great work. For those of you who may not know this or have been on previous sessions, Alex wrote a lot of the initiation course. If you've had a chance to experience that, he's a great writer and just done an amazing job putting together this Weaver course, and I'm just super excited and stoked about it because it really is, your whole life, like every interaction, everything you're trying to do in the world, in some ways has to do with the social alchemy that you create, whether that's in your home and in your family or out in the world and going and presenting yourself to people. And I think that for any of us who have big visions and big things to create in the world, we have to really master that process of how we're going to show up, what's our energy field like, how are we going to come across, are we going to really meet people where they're at? Are we really going to see them as deeply as they need to be seen? Are we really going to be authentic and truthful and totally present? Or are we going to get all sensitive, and are we going to keep ourselves from sharing who we really are? And so a lot of the Weaver course for me is about dropping in. It's about really getting there and being there and feeling who you are come forward and come out. And I think Alex has done just a fantastic job working on that. So thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so after the Weaver, then on the following Sunday, 19th, I believe, we're going to be opening up the Wizard course. And so Adam Apollo, what do you think is the best thing about the Wizard course?
No, I've got to ask it. Adam Apollo, what is the best thing about the Wizard course? You've got to tell me.
Oh, the wizard course, you say. I think the better thing about wizard course is that I can articulate for you how not to think. Oftentimes people they think too much. Too much mind, not enough clarity. So, in the wizard course, we're going to sit and we are going to have proverbial tea with each other. And during the process of having that proverbial tea, we're going to explore what it's like to actually clear the space of your mind. What we find in life is that, and for me personally, like, I'm a thinker, right? So, like, I'm thinking all the time. I've always got strategies and maps and visions and things that I'm working on, and it's like my next list, my next plan, like my next architecture, like the programming that I'm doing and the design that I'm doing and the site rollouts I'm doing and the course rollouts I'm doing and the meetings that I have, and you name it, right? And with all that going on, one of the most challenging things is actually creating enough space in my head for new ideas to come in and new inspiration. And so I found that if I'm working on something, for example, on the Guardian Alliance site, for example, and I have a bug that comes up. Somebody notices there's a bug somewhere. It's giving them a problem doing something with registration or their profile or whatever. It's like, all right, how do I address this? Well, I've got 110 other things on my plate. It's pretty hard for me to get in there and actually figure out what's going on with this bug and solve this problem. But I've found again and again that if I can get to a place where my mind is clear and I have emptiness in my mind, and even if that just means stepping away, having a meditation for a minute, doing a little magic, sitting at my altar, whatever it takes to just clear my mind for a minute, then when I come back and I sit down, I usually figure out the solution right away. And if I don't figure out the solution, I figure out what it's going to take to get the solution, and I add that to my pathways and my trajectories. But oftentimes it's that inspiration, it's that clarity of the emptiness inside of us that can drop us in to a bigger space. And this, right now, you're experiencing this session. We're dropping knowledge. There's ideas flying here and there. We're all in this like mix of thoughts and judgments. And you're looking at me, and who's this guy, and who's that guy, and who's David, and who are these other people on this course, and who's in this academy? All right, good, great. That's all knowledge. That's all wisdom. That's all recognition. And now stop. Just stop. From the place where we can watch our own minds, where we can witness our own actions of thinking, this is the place where we are powerful, creators and magi. It is from this place that we can actually weave magic that changes our belief systems. We can weave the architecture of our minds and our lives. This is where magic begins, and the architecture of reality gets woven. It's from the stillness place. It's from the silence. So we're going to explore that void in the Wizard course. It's going to be super fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. So David, go ahead and unmute yourself, buddy, because I want to ask you about the Healer course, which is also coming together and going to be launching then Wednesday after the 19th. I think it's like the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us some about what you got in store for us for the Healer course?
You know, my path, you know, there's been this trajectory, and I was so identified with myself as an athlete and a very physical being. You know, that's where I got my identity, and you know, what I felt was like who I am. And little did I know that that would lead me to healing. You know, so in some of the traditional kind of martial arts, you know, when you're young and you have lots of fire, lots of energy, you fight and you're you're young and then you move through a path. Okay, instead of using this energy to break bones, or I played football, so to like you make sure I'm not getting crushed by people, and man, learning about energy changed the game. I could drop in and everything slowed down, and I was like, wow, like this energy, this qigong stuff is so real, and I didn't know that this kinesthetic awareness that was naturally part of my intelligence. Some people are more empathic, some people are more spiritually aware, some people are more kinesthetic. So we all have these different ways in which we have psychic or energetic information coming to us. So that led me to becoming hyper aware of energy and feeling emotions in my body, which I didn't understand at a young age. So now I'm providing a framework for you to begin to understand how your energy body works, and oh wow, when I feel certain emotions, oh there's a stuckness in this part of my body, or when I feel openness, here's where the chi is really open and flowing. So one of the primary principles in energetic medicine, or Chinese energetic medicine, is the idea of the three dantians. So in the warrior, we talk about the lower dantian. So everybody right now, wherever you are, stop what you're doing and just tap your belly. And just feel your belly. Let it hang out and be relaxed, loose and open. And now, gently massage your belly. Massage your stomach. So this is our where our kinesthetic awareness is based. What's called Jing, our life force essence. Jing connecting to our bones, our synovial fluid, our menstrual blood, our semen. Right, very very important to make sure that on a very physical level we are nourished. And then from that place of nourishment, now we have the chi to begin to open the heart and feel what's there. So that's the middle dantian, and this is where we express ourselves. And for people who are empathic, who are naturally empathic, you'll learn how to create energetic, what I call energetic hygiene. Like wow, I didn't even know I just got slimed from my homie. What, he just called me up and just totally. Now I feel all gunked up, and I don't even know why I'm sad or upset. And so there's these little triggers that people hook in where we're not fully aware, so whatever situations we find ourselves in, if it's a constant thing, oh wow, now I can actually feel and understand, for like what you were talking about, I have the greater awareness to look outside of the situation and all of this knowledge and all of this stuff coming at me, and I can ground, I can root, and oh, you know what, I'm not going to go into that story, I'm not going to feed into my friend's anger or frustration. I'm gonna help them see a different side, and then there's no cord, there's no hook in for you, So energetic hygiene is huge and key, just like we have to clean, you take a shower, right? Or we clean our cache after when we're using the internet and so forth. We have to do the same thing with our energy body, our emotional body, and then so we go from the Jing, lower dantian, to the chi, the heart, middle dantian, to the upper dantian, where we create, manifest, receive divine insight, and so forth. So we won't go too much into that, but just knowing that these three centers are the pillar of your awareness. So in the course, we go into that, and we also go into a little bit of the power of resonance, sound, vibration, light, heat, all of these ways in which we use energy to heal, to explore. And yeah, I'm really stoked. So there's one thing I wanted us to do just right now. So wherever you are, remember those principles we talked about before, right? So relax and sink. And as you sink, simultaneously feel that you're being suspended by a string. Then begin to tune into your feet and feel your connection to the earth. And feel that you are like a divine battery, an antenna for energy. And simply with your mind and your intention, breathe down into the earth. Filling your belly like a balloon. Feel yourself growing tree roots into the earth. This is the yin polarity of the earth. Sending your love from your heart like a sphere of light down to the earth. And then patiently waiting like a child. And then begin to receive the energy from the earth. Feel it coming back to you. Flowing up through those tree roots, through the rocks in the soil, up through your feet, your foot chakras, up through your legs, and then filling your belly. Noticing the temperature, noticing the quality of the energy here as you connect to Mother Earth. Now from here, breathing from the earth, and breathe up through the belly into the heart. And then as you exhale, melt the heart down, letting go of any worries or tension. Melting down into the earth. And one more breath as you breathe in from the earth. Breathing up to your crown and your mind, your upper dantian, the center of your pineal gland. And as you exhale, wash your mind, going down the back of the heart, down through the belly, down the legs and into the earth. So at any time, you can connect to the energy of the earth, like a battery. We just have to plug in. It's always there. So your practice, your homework, is you go to the grass and you take your shoes off and you put your feet on the earth and you simply breathe. That is it. Very simple. Okay. See you soon.
Very simple. Very good. Nice to put your feet on the grass. Yes, indeed. And thank you so much for sharing that, David, because, you know, inside of that practice and inside of the wisdom that's there, and in the wisdom that you shared in the Warrior Course, you can really see how the archetypes act as axes with each other and connect and engage together. And this is something we haven't talked about much in the sessions, but you'll begin to really see this as you get into the actual Ring 1 courses. That, you know, that the axis between red and green, the warrior and healer axis, is teaching a whole series of complementary principles to each other. Like, you cannot be a great warrior unless you develop those healing skills, because you got to heal yourself. You've got to heal your body in order for your body to be able to give its deepest gift and build your strength and actually walk with that strength in the world. And you have to develop your strength and your anchoring in your body in order to understand what that feels like and be able to heal others and bring others into that space and into that state. And one of the really beautiful keys, you know, that was in both of the just expressions that you shared about the Warrior Course and the Healer Course involves the hara. It involves this line that's deep inside of our bodies. A lot of us know about our central pillar, and a lot of people have heard of the chakras, and that you have chakras, you know, up and down on this central pillar in your body. Well, in Chinese medicine and ancient Taoist medicine, there's a deeper layer of the energy body that is more of like an intentional layer, and that's where the haric line runs. And the haric line in ancient Egyptian magic is the jed. It's actually the central pillar in the body that forms the connection between heaven and earth. It's your connecting field between heaven and earth. And the old symbol for the jed in Egypt is this pillar. And it's a pillar that's anchored on the earth, and it goes up, and it has these 3 different layers up at the top, and then a cap. And the 3 layers represent the connection between the physical, or the gross world, the emotional, or the etheric world, and the mental, or the astral world. And so by connecting all of your worlds together, and then connecting up to the spirit and to heaven, then suddenly your entire being comes into alignment. And that is actually what we mean when we say Jedi. That is what the Jedi actually are. They're people who hold the pillar, the bridge between worlds, They're ones who make the connection that's necessary for people and life and beings and consciousness on all levels to come into recognition and awareness of each other and of themselves. And so, in a very real sense, what we're doing in this academy is Jedi training. Jedi training in the oldest way you could possibly mean it. Not just in like how to spin lightsabers around, but Jedi in how to live principles that engage you with the Force, that connect you to the quantum vacuum fluctuating energy field that is the fabric of space-time itself, and learn how to work with this energy circuit that already exists between you and everything else in existence. So the other beautiful polarity in the fields of these courses is between Weaver and Ambassador. Alex, why don't you share with us some of what you're working on for the Ambassador course?
Totally. And Adam, I am lit up because you have articulated so well what it is we're doing, because these courses are based on the energetic architecture of our beings. So let's talk about Weaver and Ambassador and this connection. We've already spoken a little bit about Weaver, which is this inner emotional mastery, and has to do with your social relationships and your connection to other beings, your sexuality. Well, this complement is in the Ambassador, which corresponds to our throat chakra. So the Ambassador is our ability to communicate, to express, to actually create meaning, right? And you can already see how the Weaver is connected to the Ambassador in the sense that the Weaver feels and the Ambassador expresses. So some people have this channel already fully blown open, and they seem to have an infinite capacity to just, I'm feeling this and I'm expressing it, I'm feeling this and I'm expressing it. Women usually are more good at this because it's more open from an earlier age, right? So the Ambassador is all about removing any of the blocks, any of the shame or any of the hesitation you have to share your message with the world. And we're going to explore the communication that goes on within you, again, because you have to build on a firm foundation. So that's your inner communication. So what are the inner dialogues going on? What are the voices in your head that are already narrating your life, and how can we work with those voices to create the meaning that you want to create? Because you do have that power. One of the comments I saw on the chat feed was asking, is silence the same as the hypnotic state? And from my experience, the two are very, very connected. In all NLP and self-hypnosis, the first thing we do is create a space of silence within. And the whole purpose of the self-hypnosis of going down the levels and counting down from 10 and doing these visualizations is to arrive at that space of silence, where, as Adam so brilliantly pointed out in Wizard, we can really create the architecture. So yes, the first thing we're going to explore in the Ambassador is the inner world. And then we're going to go into all about how to share your message. On a very practical level, that means stepping in front of an audience and speaking. So again, feeling in your body. How do you use the breath as your anchor? How do your body posture affect what's going on in your communication? Hand gestures. There's some. Basically, we're going to download you with a package of public speaking skills that's going to get you ready to go out there and share your message with the world. And I'll just share one thing with you right now about the Ambassador. I know people are already probably overloaded from all the different things we've been bringing in, but let's just keep it running. It's going to go in there. We're just planting the seeds. Yeah. So you may not know this, but how you use your hands has a tremendous amount to do with how people receive you. And they did a study on public speaking. And they found that they literally had the exact same presenter, the same presentation, 3 different audiences, and the only thing he changed was his hand positions during his speaking. The first one was it was like a commanding, I think it was a command tone. So basically in this one, you've got your hands like this, you're saying this, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. The next one was actually giving orders as you would to subordinates. So it was pointing of the finger, pointing out people in the crowd, pointing at them. And the third method they used was the welcoming gesture, where your hands are palm up and you're welcoming the audience into your message. and you're holding this energy. And they found that when they surveyed the three audiences, the perceptions of the speaker were drastically more positive when they used the welcoming hand position. So if you're going to speak to some people, this is a very simple technique to do, is simply use the welcoming posture as you go and give your presentation or your speech. The audience will react to you much more positively, and they'll really listen to the message that you want to share with the world, whether it's about something you believe in, whether it's about a business you're starting, whether it's just about some point that you're dying to get across in the moment. These are some little tips that will actually increase your effectiveness as a communicator. And that's just, a small piece of the full training of stepping into you as an ambassador.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully shared. Now, Alex, I think you're doing a great job. Alex, thank you. You've done a great job. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm really excited to explore the ambassador course more. I mean, there's actually, like, that whole track for me is so huge. Like, I just, there's so many deep principles and discovery pieces to find inside of there. And I think you've done an amazing job building the fundamentals. A lot of, like, what I explored when I was a little kid, one of my first things was reading poetry. And when I was, let's see, I guess third and fourth grade, I started getting into these poetry competitions, and I ended up winning the state championship for oral expression by reading poetry in front of these audiences. I got all the way up to the state level and won the state level. And the poem that I won with was Herbert Glurbit. Do you know this poem? Have you guys ever heard of this? Herbert Glurbit. It's a Shel Silverstein poem. And I don't even know if I remember the whole poem, but I'll do it for you anyway, just because I'll just give you a little bit of my 5th grade public speaking experience right here. Herbert Glurbit, rather round, swallowed sherbet by the pound. 50 pounds of lemon sherbet went inside of Herbert Glurbit. Herbert Glurbit got so fat he got real sick and took a nap. And while he slept, the boy dissolved. And from the mess, a thing evolved. A thing that is a ghastly green. A thing the world has never seen. It is no longer Herbert Glurbit. Whatever it is, do not disturb it. Oh, I don't think I've said that poem in years. Many years. Yeah. So after the ambassador, the final stage of this Ring 1 Mastery series, which is just huge and epic. And by the way, we don't expect you to get and grok all the information in all these courses within this month. But what we want to do is we want to carry you through with momentum and invite you to get in there, explore them, practice them, show up, and wherever you're at during each live session, we do 2 live sessions a week, we're going to talk about a little bit about the archetype, and then we're going to just open it to questions about any of the archetypes. Okay, so anywhere where you're feeling like you're stuck, you have questions, you're working on a practice, you're coming up against something, we want to meet you there, wherever you're at. And we're going to keep the courses open for you as long as you need to explore them and study them the rest of your life, hopefully. and so, we also want to create the conditions that really support you to bring other people in so that they can come and take those courses too, because we want to have as many people as possible come through Ring 1 and be ready for Ring 2, because in Ring 2 we've got a bunch of other teachers and a bunch of other amazing courses coming up. So you're definitely going to want to get through Ring 1, because you can't take Ring 2 courses unless you've come through Ring 1. So this is the first step. And after the Ambassador course, you're going to be entering the Starwalker course. So I'll share a little bit with you about what you can expect from the Starwalker course. It is really about the fact that we as inner beings, you know, some of us have an innate ability or developed an innate ability to sort of see past what most people see. We're dreamers. We're in our minds. We're in the dream world. We're daydreaming all the time. We're having visions, and we don't always know what to do with those visions. We don't always know how to bring those visions down and anchor them in. So some of what we're going to be talking about in the Starwalker course, one of the practices, is about anchoring your catheric template. And what that means is it's about becoming aware of this divine, we might call it, template of your being, this structure and architecture that's innately a part of you, that holds inside of it this energy and information of everything that you want to be, everything that you dream of, everything that you are, everything that is the deepest gift that you're here to give in the world. That's actually a field around you. It's a spiritual field. And how can you allow that mantle, that spiritual field, to anchor itself enough in your body that you feel it, that you're confidently living into your presence and bringing the bridge between that Starwalker field in the purple with the wizard field in your mind, and bringing those visions down into that place of stillness that you've cultivated so that you can strategically manifest those dreams into the world, so you can create exactly what you want to create, and also be able to intuit and see that whatever your life conditions are, there is a perfection in them. And if you can see that perfection, if you can see past the challenge, see past the trauma, see past the intensity, to just for a moment recognize that you know that there is a purpose for this experience, it will free up so much of your mental energy, so much of your emotional energy, and free up your body to actually choose and take actions and do what needs to be done to change the situation, to adapt yourself, to accept what's happened, and to move forward. And so this is the work, is what we're doing is we're bringing together all the different axes of your consciousness and your body. And that's why we call it Mastery Ring 1. We are going to cross through and travel around the circle of mastery. You're going to touch on an energy space and a field in each layer of your body. And as you touch each one and carry it to the next, and you understand these deeper principles that form the field of your whole life, you build your jet. You build the strength of your central pillar. You connect your layers of consciousness, and you begin to develop real mastery in life, in the world, in whatever it is that you're here to do and you're seeking to do. So that's what's in store for you. For all of you who have registered for Ring 1 Mastery, I am so excited for you. And please, you know, tell your friends, tell your family, tell people to come join us. I opened up registration again. I'm going to keep it open probably through about the second week of the course. So we'll take some stragglers, bring them in, you know, come in, check it out. If you're just interested in one archetype, just get one archetype. Just check that out and play with it and come in, train, learn this, grow this, become a Jedi. Let's do this. Y'all ready? Alex and David, is there anything else you guys want to share today before we wrap up this call in the next couple minutes?
I'm stoked. Yeah. And Alex, is there something you'd like to say? Because I'd love to finish off with a little practice with everyone who's still here together.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited, and I'm excited to build a community and to also get feedback and to discuss in the live sessions. You know, because I know that there's so much mastery out there and people who have so many of the gifts. So I'm excited as well to learn as well as to teach. You know, that's a big thing that I've been realizing as I've matured how this whole thing actually works. So yeah, but I'm excited for you guys to first come and check out what we've done, and I know it's going to up level you in so many different aspects of your lives, and it's been a pleasure making it. So David, you want to take us away?
Yeah, yeah. So thank you again, everyone. Sit up nice and tall and begin to breathe and just feel into your own self-mastery. Feel the gifts, the presence, the power, the love, the grace that is flowing through you right now in this moment. And feel each person, each soul on the line, each heart here all over the world. Feel the unity, the connection, the consciousness that we're bringing through to this earth at this time. You are here with a divine purpose. We are all here together as students, teachers, guides for one another. Open to your good. And take a couple deep breaths. And just charge your heart, your mind, charge your purpose. And feel that electricity, that passion of your life force energy. Know that you are supported in all ways, and we will be here to support you as much as we can. Then breathing into your belly now, begin to massage your heart, and put your hands on your heart and your belly, and just connect these energy centers.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling a sphere of light in your mind connected to a sphere of light in your heart, and a sphere of light in your belly. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, David. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Alex. And yeah, so guys, just resonate with that, work with that. Don't forget to massage your belly. Don't forget to massage your heart. And a few details about accessing the courses and joining our next sessions. So the Warrior session starts on Sunday, and you're going to find the live session for that course, which will be a secure live session in the Warrior Dojo, which is under the Gates menu. So if you go right now and you click on Gates, well, just wait until I'm done, but when this session is done, if you click on the Gates menu or roll over the Gates menu, you'll see the dojo, the Warrior Dojo inside of there. If you go there, there's a countdown. And when that countdown is done, the live session for the Warriors will begin. And the Warrior course will also open during that live session. So we're excited to have you. And when it's time for the Weaver, go to the Weaver's Lounge. And you can only access those gates that you have access keys to. If you don't have access keys yet for the gates, go to the gatehouse and get your access keys, and that'll set you up to be able to join those courses. You'll be able to access all your course material in those different areas through the courses menu item. It's the My Courses page. And when you're on that page, if you scroll down, you're going to see countdowns for each one of the courses. And when those countdowns end, there will be a button that shows up that says Enter Course. So as, as soon as the Enter Course shows up, you can just dive right in. So just keep an eye on that page for when each course opens up. And again, those timers are synced. The live sessions that we're going to do in each one of the gates and your ability to get into the actual courses themselves, all of that's synced up. So, and if you want to send people to the site, you can just send them to guardian.is if you want to just give them the, the just full experience of the introduction, or you can send them right here to this page, the live Mastery Ring 1 opening, so they can get a sense of what this is and what this is about and what we're doing here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this session. I'm really excited about the next one coming up this Sunday. We're going to do Warriors together, and we're going to just build some strength. We're going to get into our physical mastery. We're going to rock it. All right? So come back, join us, and thank you guys so much for being here. We love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.